The $2.7 billion aspartame shell game shoe-in, Monsanto style. Are you eating diet products? Well, chances are you're eating a known poison. And money, money, money is the only reason why it is in your food. Now, take a minute and listen to this tale of corruption which pushed it into the market. Aspartame, aka NutraSweet and Equal, is derived from aspartic acid, a known excitotoxin, methanol, a known toxic alcohol, and phenylalanine. Upon ingestion, it breaks back down into its harmful component parts. But what is more dangerous is that outside of the body, it rapidly breaks down at room temperature into 1. Diketopiperazine, which converts to a suspected potent brain carcinogen upon ingestion, 2. Formic acid, a component of insect stings, 3. Formaldehyde, a toxic embalming fluid, and 4. Methanol, a toxic alcohol known to cause blindness. Aspartame has been linked to brain tumors and lesions, blindness, convulsions, depression, and many other adverse endocrine and nervous system effects common to excitotoxins. Even weight gain. Yes, you heard it right, weight gain. It is most commonly found in low-calorie and diet or sugar-free products. Are you eating them? Beware and listen up. Aspartame was discovered by accident in 1965 by scientist James Schlatter while working on a drug for peptic ulcers for G.D. Searle and Company, a U.S. pharmaceutical corporation. As he licked his finger to turn a page, he noticed his fingers were sweet. Let's take a quick aside here for a moment. What professional chemist gets unknown chemicals on his hands, eats them, and then wants to try it again? So, long story short, eventually this mystery substance was approved by the FDA in July of 1974, but withdrawn just 5 months later because of brain tumors found in the rats tested with it. Please note, there are volumes of documented information about testing cover-ups and payoffs on the internet, which I will not go into here simply to maintain brevity. Now, here is where it gets interesting. 2 years later, in 1977, the already 20-year political veteran Donald Rumsfeld became the CEO and president of G.D. Searle, determined to enhance the company's waning profitability. After 4 years, in 1981, with Rumsfeld as an active advisor to Ronald Reagan, his team handpicked Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Richard Schweiker, who then appointed their fall guy, Dr. Arthur Hall Hayes, as the new FDA commissioner, who quickly overruled a public board of inquiry and approved aspartame for use in dry foods before any further tests were conducted. Then, in 1983, it was approved for use in beverages also. And shortly after that, Dr. Hayes resigned under the accusations of bribery. Dr. Hayes then slinked off to become dean of the New York Medical College for 2 years while Rumsfeld finalized the deal. G.D. Searle's lawyer, Robert B. Shapiro, became the chairman of the newly formed NutraSweet Company. And 2 years later, in 1985, Donald Rumsfeld assisted the sale of G.D. Searle and Company to Monsanto Chemical Corporation for $2.7 billion and a suspected personal profit of $12 million. Not bad for 8 years of work. A mere 1 year later, good old Dr. Hayes returned to become a paid consultant for Monsanto's public relations firm, Burson Marsteller, one of the largest public relations firms in the world, while G.D. Searle's lawyer/chair of NutraSweet, Robert B. Shapiro, became Monsanto's president. These 3 guys profited substantially throughout this entire scam, and honestly, I wouldn't have cared if what they pushed through was healthy or at least harmless. In fact, I would be applauding them for their business skill. But unfortunately, aspartame is far from safe. Therefore, I must wholly condemn these men. There is great debate over the authenticity of the safety tests performed regarding this chemical, as noted in 1987 by toxicologist Dr. Jacqueline Verrett before a U.S. Senate hearing describing the tests as, quote, serious departures from acceptable toxicological protocols, end quote. Obviously, as shown above, the government departments are compromised by corporate interest, and thus all tests conducted by them, including the National Cancer Institute, are likewise compromised. And as I noted earlier, there are volumes of these types of documents easily found on the internet discussing and exposing all of this fraud in great detail by numerous scholars. Keep in mind, people, sugar is big business. $90 billion a year big. And it has been for over 1,000 years. Any novice businessman knows that to cut even a small percentage out of that market would be substantially lucrative. Well, it is. Aspartame's cut is $1 billion per year lucrative, with over $100 million in advertising spent to convince you to eat more of it. This, and only this, was behind the push for this junk since the day it came into being. Keep this in mind the next time you reach for that diet drink. Think about it. 100 calories of real sugar is far better than 0 calories of poison, folks. Thanks for listening. This is the Populous Informer signing off. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, my friends. And remember, your awareness is our payment.